Okay, I show we're just after 1 o'clock here, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. If people keep joining, that's okay. I hope everyone can see my screen all right. Here's a little agenda of what we're going to talk about today. So first, we'll talk about who Truestream is and what we do. We'll discuss our plans that we offer and the equipment that we offer with each installation. We'll go over a little bit of a construction update for all of our active areas. We'll talk a little bit about streaming information. We know that's a big topic with most of our people that are switching to Truestream. And then we'll also have a general questions and answers. Again, please remain muted during the meeting. You can use the chat function that comes with Zoom, and we will answer questions through that, but we'll also answer some of the questions, some of the more general questions, things like that near the end of the meeting as well. So get those questions out there on chat and we'll answer everything as best as we can. My name is Julie. I have been with Great Lakes Energy for 11 years now. And like many of you, I am a member of Great Lakes Energy. My house is supplied by Great Lakes Energy, and I do have Truestream at my house. And Truestream, we're a little bit different than some of the other providers, and we think that that's really a good thing. We're a cooperative, and much like in the 1940s when we brought electricity to the farmers, when they banded together and decided they wanted electricity, and the investor-owned utilities wouldn't bring them to it. We are doing, something very similar with Truestream here. We know that you guys have asked us over and over again for high-speed internet, that you don't have service where you live out in the country and the other providers won't provide for you. So, this is where we step in. We have the lines and everything out there. So, we're proud to be able to bring this service to you guys, and we know how much of a needed service this is. Many of our employees are also Great Lakes Energy members or part of the Truestream. They're active Truestreamers as well, or they're waiting for Truestream like some of you are. So we know, what we want in a service, and we want to offer that to you. We don't want any hidden fees. We don't want catches. We want that information out there for you to have and have that all in front of you. So let's talk a little bit about the plans that we do offer. We have 3 residential plans. We have an ultra plan, which is 1 gig or 1,000 megabits per second. If you're going to have a lot of connected devices, if you're going to do streaming, things like that, we really recommend streaming. If you're going to do gaming or 4K streaming, HD streaming, things like that, you might want that upper plan there. We do have a family plan as well. This one is 200 megabits per second, and you can see it's for about 5 to 9 devices that are connected at the same time. And then we have a basic plan as well. That's 100 megabits per second, 1 to 4 devices connected. And that will get you the basic, most of the basic things that you're probably going to want to do. We do also offer voice service. It's $34.99 per month. There is a discount if you do, there's a bundle discount of $5 if you do voice with an internet plan. We do have several people that have second homes or vacation homes, and we do have a rate for that you can be on for up to 6 months out of the year. We do also have business plans, but those are kind of tailored to your business needs. So we ask that you give us a call and we'll talk to you about that. All of our plans offer unlimited data. There's no slowdowns. We're not going to ask you, for best time of service, go log in at 4 o'clock in the morning when no one else is using it. I mean, that's not convenient. We don't want that. There's no slowdowns. You can use your internet anytime that you like, and that speed will remain consistent because you have a fiber line directly to your home. You're not sharing that connection with a neighbor or anything like that. There's no hidden fees, no contracts. You're not locked into anything. We do offer 24/7 tech support. With fiber, you'll also notice that we have symmetrical download and upload speeds, which is something that, if you're not a fiber provider, that's not anything that you can offer. Those upload speeds are always going to be slower than the download speeds, and that's just the nature of the copper connections that they use. And then we do offer equipment free with every installation, and it's state-of-the-art equipment that we know is capable of that gig service that we offer. One other thing that we might want to mention here that I'll mention here is that we don't offer email addresses. This has come up sometimes. Maybe if your current provider has an email address that you take advantage of, you might want to consider looking at a free service now, something like Outlook or Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo, one of those types of situations, and then start switching any of your emails that you get to your current provider, switch those over to that free email account. That's something that we've encountered a few times with some members, their email addresses with their current provider, and that will go away once you switch to Truestream. So we don't want to lose those emails. Think about changing that over now. We also get a lot of questions about, well, which plan's the right one for my house? And that really depends on how many devices you're going to be using at the same time. So we kind of relate that back a little bit to like a pizza party. The more people that you're going to have, the bigger pizza that you're going to need. So if you have multiple devices that are going to be connected all at once, that each take a piece of that bandwidth, a piece of that pizza there, then you're going to want one of the larger plans. If you just have a couple devices connected, then one of the smaller plans is probably going to be adequate for you. One other thing to consider though is, maybe you have your internet right now is satellite, or maybe it's slow, so you don't have very many devices. You've never, bought an Alexa, smart home assistant, or anything like that. Maybe you're not streaming TV. But with Truestream, since you will have a reliable high-speed connection, that opens the door to other opportunities. Do you want a video doorbell? Would you like to have smart lights that you can turn on with your phone? Would you like to have the thermostat that you can control with your home and those smart home technologies? And the more that you think about those, the more speed that you might need if you keep adding more devices. And one of the nice things, because we don't have contracts, you can switch your plan at any time. So if you find yourself adding more devices, once you're connected, switching that plan to something higher is just a phone call away, and our reps can take care of that for you. So here's a little bit about some of the equipment that we have on that. Once construction gets close to your house and we're getting nearer to the in-home installation part, you'll notice that they install a gray box on the outside of your house. This is called a NID, and ideally it's installed near your meter base, but it can be installed in other areas as well. Going forward, if you haven't received any paperwork about your site plan yet, you will get a sticker as well to mark where you think that this NID should be on the outside of your house. And ideally it will be somewhere near where you want the modem and router to be placed, as close to that as you can. We recommend having that modem and router placed in a central location in your home. So on a main floor in the middle of the house, because that will give you the most coverage and the best Wi-Fi in the whole house. A regular modem router setup generally works for homes that are 2,000 square feet or smaller. But a lot of that also depends on the building materials of your home too. If you have concrete, if you're putting your modem or router in the basement, it might not reach up to the far corner of your house. So because there are situations like that, we also offer an optional Wi-Fi mesh, which will extend that Wi-Fi signal out to the other areas that you would need that, maybe if your signal's not as strong on the backside of your house or something like that. We do offer that. You can connect up to 3 of them, and they're $5 per month per unit. And when our installation techs are at your home to do the in-home install, they will also test the signal strength too. So they'll know, the modem and router is in a central room, you're getting good signal there. Maybe that you want them to test the signal strength on the other side of the house, and they can recommend if they would think that a mesh would be beneficial for you as well. We also offer battery backup. So we really recommend this if you do take our voice service. That way you would have access to 911 or emergency services if there is a power outage, but you do need a corded phone to connect to that for the most part. Most cordless phones would not have power during a power outage either. So that corded phone would be the ideal way to go, have one of those, and the battery backup. That battery backup will power the modem router unit. There's 3 different sizes available. So the sizes will change how long it will power that unit for approximately. So that's an option to purchase. You can purchase it for just the internet too if you don't have voice. If you really want to have that service during an outage, you can do that as well. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of a construction update. I believe it was mentioned earlier in the chat, but we do have an interactive map that you can go visit as well. You can type your address in there and it tells you what area you're in and what the status of that area is. So these are just kind of screenshots of that, but if you want to go look for yourself, that is out there on truestreamfiber.com under the areas tab. So if you're joining us from our Petoskey service area, we started construction, in July of 2018 in our Petoskey area. Our first installation was in October of 2018. And we're happy to report that anyone that did request service has been connected as of now. If you've recently requested service, we'll get to you, but there could be a delay in construction there and some in-home installation fees may apply at this point. But everyone in our Petoskey service area that, for the most part, that did want service can have service now. If you're in our Boyne service area phase 2, so our Boyne City, Advanced, Deer Lake areas, again, if you requested service, then you should have service by now. We have the construction is complete and for the most part, all the in-home installations are complete as well. You can still go ahead and register. There might be a delay in the construction because most of our crews are in other areas now, but we will get to you and we will do the installation for you still. There may be some in-home installation fees that apply as well. Our Boyne service area phase 2 is where we're primarily working right now as far as installations. So we've got a lot of the East Jordan area covered. They're working in the Central Lake 2 and 4, Eastport 1 and 2, and we've just recently moved into our Barnard areas as well. So those are all ready for in-home installation. Some of them are still in the construction process. We do have all of our crews are still out there actively working to bring the fiber to your home, so then we can do the in-home installation part. We do have a bit of a delay in our Milton, Eastport 3 and Central Lake 3 areas due to some construction issues in that area. So if you're in those areas, we'll keep you updated as we find out any more information, but right now they're in a delayed status. And as the construction is ongoing to the homes, if you haven't registered yet, please go register. We want to get you out there while the crews are still working in the areas, but there might be a delay and there are still some in-home installation fees that could apply. If you're joining us from our Boyne City service, our phase 3 area here, I know I just drove through part of this area last weekend and I was looking at all the fiber on the poles. It's exciting to see. So our construction crews are out there working. They're working on the main lines. They will get the drops to the house, so bringing the fiber directly to your home. We expect to start that in the late spring here, early summer. And we ask that you guys have your offer extended. Please get that paperwork back to us, that site plan, by the 15th of May to qualify for that free in-home installation still. Okay, if you're joining us from our Hart area, you've probably seen some construction going on there as well. We're building and connecting Our substations in the baseline 2 and 4, New Era 3 and 4, Shelby 1, 3 and 4, Silver Lake 2, Rogers 2, 3 and 4 areas as well. Shelby 4 and Rogers 4 were our first areas that we announced. So hopefully if you're in that area, you've registered already and you're just waiting for the construction to your home to happen. And we expect that to happen this summer. And then if you're in the other areas listed, we're asking that you return your paperwork by June 1st. So, get that site plan back to us as soon as you can so we can process that, so we can get the construction built directly to your home. So when we're ready, we can come light up that network and then do the in-home installs. And as I mentioned, that should start taking place this summer for you guys. If you're in our Wayland 4 area, we expect to start that in a little bit later this summer. We'll get through some of the heart areas and then we can get down to that Wayland area. So again, return your paperwork, that site plan by June 1st to ensure that free in-home installation. And I know we had previously announced some construction in the Newaygo and another Wayland area, and those were delayed due to permitting issues through federal forest lands there. So we do expect to get those permits resolved and that construction to begin in 2021, but it is delayed for right now. I'm sorry, 2022, the construction will begin. And then we have also recently announced that we've begun our fielding process, which is really our first phase in our Waters and our Kalkaska area. So we have contractors that will visit each meter to assess, its location and what we might need to build fiber to that area. That's begun in our Waters area now. If you're joining us, you maybe have gotten an email or a phone call about that. We've begun that process. In Waters, we'll move on to Kalkaska next. And then construction in parts of those areas will likely take place in 2022. So they'll collect all of that data. We present it to the board of directors, and then they will approve construction. Okay, and as I mentioned, the interactive map on truestreamfiber.com is really a good resource. We do also provide monthly construction updates in the news section on truestreamfiber.com, so keep an eye on those. But now we'll talk just a little bit about streaming. So a lot of people ask about streaming and what can they do for television? Can they keep their television? Do they have to do streaming? Can they do streaming? What's streaming about? Streaming is kind of like downloading an app on your phone, only you're doing it on your TV. So you're using either a device, if you don't have a smart TV, a device like a Roku or a Fire Stick or an Apple TV, or you already have a smart TV that has some of those pre-programmed television apps already on it. On the screen here, we've listed just some of the more popular streaming devices that are out there. There's lots of them available. If your TV is not smart already, or if it doesn't offer the channels that you're looking for, you might need a streaming device to get the channels or get the programming that you want. And most of these devices can be purchased just about anywhere. Any big box store will have them, and you would need one per TV that you want to stream, and you purchase that and you own it, and that's yours, until you're done using it. Another nice option with that is if you travel somewhere, or if you're, you have a home in Michigan and you have a winter home someplace, you can bring that streaming device right with you, and you keep the channels and the apps that you've downloaded right with you. So, I could unplug my Roku right now. If I go on vacation, I can plug it into the TV in the hotel room and we can watch all of the shows that we normally watch because those apps travel with you. But what TV is the right answer? So everyone watches TV a little bit different and everyone has their own preferences. These forms are available on our website as well at truestreamfiber.com, this information, but we've just included some of the more popular services that are out there right now and a little bit of a comparison. So You can see if they have original programming. You can see if they have live TV. You can compare prices. The concurrent streams is how many TVs at one time can be using that channel. But one other important thing, I think, in my house anyways, I know certain channels that we watch all the time and ones that, you know, we wouldn't be able to give up. So CNET has a channel comparison guide for all of the streaming options that offer live TV. So they're all listed here. You can go download this as well. So you can kind of do a comparison of, you know in my house, I have little kids, so we watch Nickelodeon and Disney all the time. So which channels offer that? And these all have live TV. Several of them carry local channels as well. I know that Hulu Live, YouTube TV have local channels. I believe Philo does as well. So you can see what channels are out there and kind of do your own comparison. And this is a way, it's a way that you can save money. If you know that, this one channel, this one option for streaming is going to cover everything that you need and it's only $20, then that might be something that you want to look at. And that's a way to save money. If you're paying, $150 for your cable now or for your satellite TV, you can cut it down and really make it more personalized to what you're looking for. Okay, I think we're ready to cover some questions and answers now. We'll have a couple employees that will chime in here with questions. I hope you guys have been using the chat function as well. We have recorded this session and we'll post that on Facebook and on YouTube. You'll get a email thanking you with a little brief survey. If you could fill that out for us, and it will have a link to the recording as well if you want to rewatch or if you have any more questions that maybe you want to contact us about. We're more than happy to help you, but for right now, I think we'll turn it over to questions and answers. So let's get to some of those.
I think we've covered all of our questions, Julie, in the chat. Somebody asked, can you go over the home installation process again? And there were a couple questions about, how they're contacted when their home is ready for installation. So if you could review that as well.
Okay. How you're contacted, we do an email series as the construction moves through the process to your home. So be on the lookout for those. You'll get notice that, you've moved into this step next and what the next step will be. So we do try and keep you informed on that. And once you're in the position to have the in-home installation, we'll give you a call. So make sure that your contact information is up to date on your account. You can either call us to update that, or you can log into your online account to update that information as well. But that's really important so we can get a hold of you so we can schedule that installation. If we're having a hard time getting a hold of you, then we will send you an email little notice too that you're ready for installation and that we've tried to reach you, but we haven't been able to get a hold of you. As far as the actual installation portion, most installations take 1 to 3 hours in general. And the tech will connect from that gray box. He'll run a fiber line from that gray box on the outside to the inside of your home where you would like that modem and router located. We do recommend a centralized room, but if you have a place that you would really like that, the techs will work with you on that as well. I saw some questions earlier too about phone service, and the phone jacks in your house will no longer be needed. The phone connects directly into that router. There's some inputs on the back of that your phone will be connected to.
Julie, Oh, Julie, sorry, I was unmuted. There's a question about when they submit the site plan through email,
Mhm.
and then should they receive a reply, or what's the communications process after that?
Sure. Once you submit that site plan through email, we have to process it and get it in your account, and then it will move on to the next step, and you'll receive an email thanking you for returning your paperwork, but it might take a little bit of time. We get, potentially 100 or more of the site plans back in a day. So it takes a little bit of time to work through that, but once we do have that processed on your account, you will get that will start the email series letting you know that we've received your paperwork and what the next steps will be.
Okay, and then we have another question about sending in the paperwork, but can the fiber be brought into the house on the opposite side of the house from where the electric meter is placed? And how would they go about communicating that to us?
I would suggest giving us a call. If you've marked it on your site plan, we can make sure that we note that. And like I said, going forward, we've started mailing stickers out so you can indicate exactly where you want that. But if you want to give us your information, we can verify that's noted on the site plan. And when the designer comes out to design the path that the fiber will take from the main line to the side of your home, we'll make sure that they have that in the location that you would like.
Okay, and do you have any estimate on in-home installations in and around the East Jordan area?
As far as the installations, they're ongoing right now. If you give us a call, we can let you know where we can get you in on that schedule, I think.
And I think it's just important to note that you need to make sure you have in your site plan and all of your required paperwork, first before you're checking about installation dates. So make sure, checking your email and your account to be sure that we have all that paperwork turned in.
Right, and you should be receiving those emails too as you move through that process, and to let you know a little bit of the construction and where you stand in there as well. So if you feel like you're nearing the end and you have that gray box on the side of your house, that's a little bit of an indication that you're getting close.
Okay, and then this might be a question for Les, who is one of our support technicians. Les, can the battery backup be used to power a cordless phone base?
So with those battery backups, they only are designed to power the modem and the router. So those do not have any other plugs to be able to power that phone base. So unless they have another phone that can plug directly in without the use of power, it's not going to keep that phone to have dial tone. They would have to have a separate means of keeping power to that unit.
Okay. Another technical question, Les, regarding the landline phone cable. Is it a different cable used all the way to the phone, or the standard skinny 4-wire cable?
Yep, so we still can use Cat 3. It's going to be the same fittings that you would have on that. If the technician is going to be running a wire from that ONT or the modem back to the location to tie into your phone wiring, usually we have Cat 5e or Cat 6 on our trucks that we would use if we don't have any Cat 3, but we can take advantage of those same wires you have in your home as long as they're still in working order.
Okay, we had another question. I think we might have missed it in the chat, so I'm going to ask it here. For seasonal homes, if there's not a resident there when Truestream is ready, how would installation work?
Well, there's a couple different things that can happen there. If you have a caretaker that's, checks in on the house, or someone like that you would trust to be there for the installation, we can go ahead and, schedule the install at a time that they're available. They would just need to know where your preferred location for that modem and router is in the house before we would do the installation there. Or we can put a delayed note on your account for a time that we know that you're going to be there, and schedule that out in the future for you.
What is the cost of running fiber 190 feet to a new location? Fiber's at the pole. I would think maybe we'll need to talk to, that message comes from Brian. Maybe talk to you offline about that question and we can get you that pricing. If you can give us a call or send us an email and then we can work through that for you if you want to reroute where it's at. I don't think there's any other questions, Julie, at this time.
Okay, as I mentioned, we will have a recording of this and we'll email that out to you shortly here once we get that posted. And, you know, if you have any questions, please email us, let us know. You can also find us on Facebook. We're pretty responsive to that as well. So you can go like our page and we'll get back to you that way as well. And again, if you have any questions, please definitely reach out to us. We're here to help you guys.